Using sources, reliability, usefulness, and audience. The article chosen for this topic was Using Conspiracy Theories to Teach Source Analysis by Robert Andrews. Andrews is a history teacher at Quakers Hill High School in New South Wales. He believes that conspiracy theories should be used to teach source analysis in history classrooms. Using conspiracy theories. Andrews states that studying primary and secondary sources is an unavoidable constant in the history classroom, where students are taught to evaluate a source's reliability, usefulness, motive, audience, and content. Through doing this, they are then hopefully able to demonstrate their understanding of the past from a hopefully logical interpretation of historical evidence. Therefore, Andrew believes that it is also important for a student to be shown what can happen when sources and evidence are evaluated incorrectly, hence creating errors. While teaching conspiracy theories in a history setting may seem inappropriate, when they are used in the context of source analysis, they become a helpful guide to illustrate the errors created by misusing evidence. Andrew states, students could be encouraged to identify the errors in analysis that have resulted in some famous conspiracy theories that fit nicely across the stages. Additionally, by comparing conspiracy theorists to historians, it shows the students why it is important to avoid over-reliance on one piece of historical evidence. Kennedy's assassination conspiracy. The assassination of John F. Kennedy is a conspiracy that demonstrates lack of analysis of the evidence. Andrews states that a home movie filmed by Abraham Zapruder about JFK shows that the time between the injuries of the president and governor was insufficient for more than one bullet to have been fired. Through further investigation, however, the single bullet theory is proven to be incorrect. Additionally, according to Andrews, a Dallas police radio transmission showed there was a high probability that two gunmen fired. Andrews proves that this conspiracy can be completely torn apart through a little extra research. Additionally, he states that these conspiracy theorists are guilty of taking one piece of evidence at face value instead of doing further research and analysing their data. The moon landing conspiracy. The moon landing by America's Armstrong in 1969 also has a conspiracy tied to it. The theorists believe that NASA staged the moon landing in Nevada with the end goal of embarrassing and humiliating the Soviets. Their evidence was based on the impossibility of a waving flag in zero gravity, the starless night, and Armstrong's footprint remaining intact when the lunar model departed. Andrews bases these conspiracy conclusions on poor analysis of the source's content. He goes on to state, the conspiracy theorists have not troubled to research whether a flag can wave in zero gravity, or the problems of taking a picture with both bright and dim objects, or if dust disperses differently in a zero gravity environment from our own. By using the moon landing conspiracy theory as an example in history classrooms, students will have the opportunity to explore research with the purpose of providing context to individual pieces of historical documentation or footage. The world being controlled by an alien race of shape-shifting reptiles conspiracy. The final conspiracy theory given by Andrews is based on the idea that the world is controlled by an alien race of shape-shifting reptiles. While you would hope common sense would remove you from this theory, sometimes a thorough understanding of the context and content of a source is not enough. In this case, the author's background and expertise need to be taken into consideration. The creator of this conspiracy is a man named David Icke, who has written multiple books presenting this theory. However, when looking closely at David, his personal history, which includes his claim on British television that he is the Son of God and that the world was going to end in a fortnight, should have, according to Andrews, been enough to sow doubt in the minds of even the most committed conspiracy theorists. In situations like this, students can use what Andrew calls the twin tests of author and motive. By doing this, the students will be able to gauge whether or not the particular source is reliable and what the effects would be if this element of the analysis were to be ignored. Andrew's final statements. Through these three theories, the students would hopefully be able to see how important it is to 1. Do further research and never take data at face value, 2. Explore the research and provide context, and 3. Test the reliability of the author and motive of the document. Andrews finishes by stating that conspiracy theorists can be very convincing and their evidence can generally be genuine, therefore making it a perfect activity to incorporate into skills-based learning for a diverse range of learners. Using conspiracy theories to learn new skills can increase the engagement of the students with low literacy abilities, while still further challenging the capable and talented students on the other end of the spectrum. If students are taught to identify how evidence can be misused, just as they are taught how it can be used, they will be armed with something that all lovers of history have developed already: a healthy mix of academic curiosity and intellectual honesty. Specific strategies for teaching and learning for Stage 6 Modern History. All through Stage 6 Modern History, source analysis is used so that the students can learn to question what it is they're actually reading, or whether it should actually be taken at face value. It improves their higher order thinking and therefore increases their ability to analyze everyday situations. By using conspiracy theories to teach students how to analyze sources, not only will they continue to be engaged, but also they will see a reason to analyze everyday events. This theory of teaching also assists in the students' learning of the usefulness, reliability, and audience in shaping the use of source analysis. Reflection of learning. Through reading this article, I have learned a whole new way to teach students about source analysis and the steps that must be taken to do it correctly. It is important to remember that while students have to be given a certain skill set through studying history, it doesn't have to be boring and useless. Instead, it can be hands-on and relevant to the students' everyday lives, especially since we are not limited to the conspiracy theories that Andrews has used as examples. Instead, theories that are closer related to the topic could be used. Also, it is essential to remember how important a student's interest to a topic is to help them further their understanding. If interesting activities such as using conspiracy theories are used in the history classroom, not only are the higher order thinking students being challenged more, but the other students who tend to have less of an understanding are being re-motivated to continue their studies, as they will hopefully become more interested. Challenges confronted. One of the biggest challenges confronted when looking at this article was the question, does this technique really work? While Andrews has related each of the conspiracy theories to teaching students about source analysis, none of the topics were really related to any Stage 6 modern history topics short of American history. Additionally, as this was only one article, it was hard not to plagiarize, and there were no supporting research from other articles.